voice echoed in the silent room, holding power to melt anyone but not the beast in front of her. Why are you doing this? Her wet eyes met his ruthless one, and he only smiled coldly. Because I hate you. He masked his love behind the venomous words. Because I want to. His care is behind his rage, and I can. And his broken heart is hurt behind his hurtlessness as he threw her on the floor, too blind for anything until he heard those words which could make his ears feel blissful. Fine, I will marry you. The corridor was silent and empty, with mostly students attending the class and many, including in the library, leaving only two adult people standing in front of there waiting for their idol. How long will he take? Jason looks at the clock, which keeps ticking within sparing a moment. I don't know, he said he will be here before the class. Jasper's voice was without a pinch of worry in his voice. Which class, first or last? I can't get it. What make you think that he will be joining us today? He didn't get a glimpse of this university for the last 3 months. Jasper sighed, looking at impatient Jason. It's his brother's university. He can leave or join whenever he wants. Besides, I was there when Jordan took good care of him. Jason felt more hopeful when he heard about his elder brother from Jasper. Soon they heard the sound of his striding and a blurry figure moving towards them. Aiden D'Souza. He crossed his arm over his chest and looked at them. Jason Scott. He smirked as he looked at his best friend, who was busy rolling his eyes. Nice to see you, bro. While Jasper handshake with Aiden and bumps his shoulder, giving the same energy in one go. Yeah, nice to see you. After 3 whole months. The blonde-haired man rolled his eyes again. He turned around. Come on, I was busy, you know. He placed his hand over his not-so-broad shoulder, trying to defend himself. Even busy to attend to my calls last night. Aiden cleared his throat as he smiled at him. I was in the middle of something important. Jason shook his head as he pushed him away. With a random girl, he corrected his friend with a cold look. Yes, he smirked at both of them. You are totally a waste of time. He moved away from them, leaving the other two behind. Forget him and tell me who was the girl. Jasper stepped forward and he asked Aiden, who gave him an obvious look. Like I care to know. They both looked at each other, then smirked. Let's go, we are getting late for the class. Annoyed by his friend Jason Groan and from the other end of corridor. Coming, Jasper shouted back as he pulled Aiden. Yes, let's go and rot in the hell. Aiden huffed, following them helplessly. You know, I am much more capable than this professor. Aiden whispered to his friend, not so quietly that earned a glare from the other. At least people laugh at my jokes, pay attention to my words, and value my efforts. He continued with a sneer while his friend snorted. And those people only include those brainless girls who die over your stingy face. Aiden chuckled as he turned towards Jason. Only you can say whatever you want, short man, but my face is all generous as my wallet. It's something that makes me love God. Jason sneered back tauntingly. It's surprising that you still believe in the existence of God. Jasper, who was enjoying the fight, noticed his head. This time before making the remark, a man whose life functions on sins, you have some guts to say you love God. Aaron giggles, giving a thumbs up. Shut up, you both. I'm taking notes here. Jason was already struggling to get the concept, and the way his friends have been chit-chatting around him makes things hard for him. You know, Jason, that girl, I saw her again after almost years. Eden, who was looking around boringly, felt highly interested. Eden, who is she pretty? Attractive enough to deserve my attention? Jason shook his head at his friend. I want you both to shut the hell up. He warned both of them for the last time, and they both nodded their heads, zipping up their mouths for a while. Tell me after this lecture, he whispered to Jasper, who was sitting beside him while keeping his expression straight. On it, he replied, pretending to take the lecture to, but their minds were totally not in the place of their eyes. Rowan, who was sitting behind them, sighed in relief as they stopped talking, feeling less disturbance and more concentration. The student did much well with their mouths shut up. Look at her. The girl in corridor poked each other as their eyes were stuck on the foreign figure. She is so pretty. How come I didn't see her before? With few students admiring her beauty, they were ignored by the girl who silently walked in their department without a single word. Wait, I recognize her. She's Aileen Jones from the medical department, the girl said, and she remembered seeing her around the university. Beauty of the medical department. Some know her from her title, some by her face, but the girl was totally foreign of them. Apart from these traits, she stood in front of the classroom waiting for someone she knew. Everyone who got out of the class gave a few gasps, while others couldn't stop staring at her as they left the place. She picked the call the moment it started to ring. I'm on my way. Where are you and others? She heard the feminine voice from the other side, familiar and excited. Calm down, you're always excited for a get together, Carrie. He smiled at the hearty chuckle and she heard from the other side, which obviously belongs to Scarlett. I'm and you should be too. Now tell me, where are you, Ellen? In front of Rowan's class. Waiting for him. Why don't you fetch Daniel on your way? She looked at the students who just get out of the classrooms and like before, none of them was Rowan. I can't pamper him like a kid, unlike you, so please get here and let those two idiots be more responsible. You know him, he forgets easily. Let's not put pressure on him. She could imagine her friend rolling her eyes on the other side. One is your beloved brother and the other is your childhood sweetheart. What can I say here, Ellen Jones? You can cut the call and look where you walk before you bump into someone. She teases her friend who snorted in response. Oh please, I never. God, I'm sorry. Ellen smiled as she heard her determined tone turn into apologizing one. I will see you later then, Miss Perfect. She smiled as she cut the call. Can you not be the reason for us staying till this late? I feel suffocated here as the three moved towards the exit of the class. Aiden scolded Jason for taking this long to cover his notes even after that class ended. Right, I'm hungry too, Jasper joined, and Jason rolled his eyes at both of them as they exit the door, making sure not to bump on the girl standing close to the door. Both males moved casually, but Eden, who accidentally looked at the girl whose head was bending down as she was busy with her bag hanging on her side, her step halted immediately as he looked at the girl whose face was covered with her untied hair shining as brightly as a cloth of silk, dark and long, being at a small distance. The man smells the appetizing fragrance that could make everyone go hungry, hunger that mere food can never satisfy. He bit his lip, tilting his head to the side, trying to look at the face, but failed miserably as the man pulled him away from the girl. Stop it already, his blonde friend growled with his unlimited interest in every girl he came across with. Wait, he tried to resist his friend, but both of them overpowered him and took him away. Ellen heard the commotion and looked back, but was called in soon. Ellen! She smiled at the man, obvious of the other one, who started at the back while he was too far away. You are here to get me again. Rowan placed his arm on the wall and she leaned on it. Yeah, it's because I know you'll probably forget about our plans. Yet again, Rowan cleared his throat as he looked around. I forgot because I wanted to see you here. Ellen gave him a face saying, I know everything, as she nodded her head. Yes, yes, it's all because I'm always on your mind. It's because I made you a dumb person by never letting you get worried about these things. It's because I'm your walking reminder, a most precious part of your memory. Rowan cleared his throat again as she was exposing him. No, seriously, how come up you always have an excuse to make? I think your brain only took a degree on excuses. She gently knocked on his head, trying to awaken his brain. But what are you doing? He smiled as he asked her while she sniffed. I was knocking on the door, but then I remembered the place has always been empty. Rowan was smiling, felt his lips twitching downwards while the girl chuckled before turning around to leave. Wait, it wasn't a part of your mockery, right? He frowned at her, non-stopping and sunning before running after her. Seriously, you need to stop hanging out with Carrie. You have started to taunt me a lot. The girl chuckled as the man matched her pace, walking side by side, their hands brushing slightly, making them blush. Their hearts flutter, a smile spreading on their face, but none was daring enough to take the initiative. How can you eat this? This sucks, Aiden groaned, pushing the serving away. Jason looked at the food and then at his friend disappointed.